We made it to Fastlane, the worst pay-per-view before WrestleMania. And we survived it. We survived all the bumps. And now we are officially 20 days away from WrestleMania. We have to review Fastlane 2021, and I cannot do it alone. Please welcome back Skyler!
Everyone. Oh, what a pay-per-view that was.
I think that's the best way to describe it. I mean, if you saw my predictions, I kept using the word why, pointless, and why. I'm just going to keep saying the word why. So the interesting thing about this is before the pre-show started, we did not have a pre-show match. And they just kept like announcing all these matches. And I'm like, okay, so like nothing's going to happen, right? Like we're just going to build up the pay-per-view. Halfway through the pay-per-view, yeah, we're going to have Riddle versus Ali for the United States Championship. I'm like, what? Kayla, what? So we had Riddle versus Ali here, and Retribution after 6 months of pointless booking. No build at all. Well, there was a build, but it slowly just died. It is finally broken up. Riddle is your United States Championship champion heading into WrestleMania. So my two-part question for you is, who do we see Riddle facing at WrestleMania? And what are your thoughts that Retribution broke up?
I don't know who's gonna verse Riddle. Honestly, I'm always confused what they do with these mid-card championships. Because I generally, I don't know. It could be a last minute thing at this point. And with them breaking up, I'm not surprised. I'm a little upset they didn't really use them how they were supposed to in a way, because they became this big thing. Like, oh, this is awesome. I thought it was so cool. I was like, cool, something edgy. And then it just went downhill because they had no care for them, unfortunately. But hopefully now we get to see Mia Yim wrestle finally.
And where's her fiance? Where is her fiance?
Apparently, I read that he wasn't 100% when he came back after COVID, and his oxygen was like below 90, and it's supposed to be like 95. Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad one.
Yeah, like his oxygen was really affected by
COVID. Okay, so that explains a lot. So Keith Lee, please come back before WrestleMania. We need you. I thought this match, this kind of goes into WrestleMania too. I feel like just looking at the WrestleMania card and even this match, we've seen these matches before. And the whole thing about WrestleMania is that we're supposed to see matches that we've never seen. And we literally saw this match 6 days ago. And I like this match better than it was on Raw. And I like that Retribution did split up because I don't know if they're going to go back to NXT, if they're going to feud with Ali on the main roster, because I don't know if everyone really is like main roster worthy. Yeah. I'm assuming Mia Yim is going to stay on the main roster, and I'm assuming Dijakovic is going to stay, but I don't know about everybody else. But I really don't know where we go with the U.S. Championship either, because I was talking to lead chief editor officer of thepopbreak.com, Phil Boggin. And we were saying it's going to be a multi-man match. And I'm like, but with who?
Yeah, they could do a battle royal.
Oh, God.
But they might do Ali and Matt Riddle again. I don't know, to be honest. Like,
this is why Raw's a mess. Raw is a mess.
It's horrible.
But we'll switch over to the Blue Brand for some interesting things. Nia and Shayna are still your Women's Tag Team Championships, but it looks like the boss is a heel. What do we like about this match?
I thought it was a pretty good start for the pay-per-view. It gave us an expectation that didn't follow. And it was a pretty decent, like Shayna was good. Nia was actually pretty decent. I'm sorry. Bianca was amazing, like always, at 450. Ooh. And then Sasha shows why she's champion. When Sasha turned on Bianca, I just wanted Bianca to whip her with her braids so bad. I miss when she used to do that. She did it once. I need her to do it again.
She's saving it for WrestleMania.
I really hope Because that's such a powerful thing. It's technically not a weapon. It's technically her. So
That is true. I like this match better than the match we saw at Elimination Chamber. I felt like everybody was really in their role here, and I felt like it just flowed so much better. I don't know if it's because Reginald's here, but I just like the flow. I really don't know what you do with the women's tag team championships.
the Riot Squad.
That's what I'm assuming. But then and then I was shocked Natty and Tamina didn't come out because what happened on SmackDown when they interrupted this match.
That made no sense.
I don't even want to get into the fact that they introduced new NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, and you can't even use the ones on the main roster because that's a whole different rant for a whole different day. But I like that Sasha's the one heel because I prefer Bianca as a face, and Sasha's such a good heel. And I feel like if Bianca is going to be the person to win this championship, it should be from a heel Sasha, because especially heel Sasha is champion, as we saw in NXT, as we saw when she was tag champ with Bayley. Superior.
Yes.
Beautiful. And even like she's been hitting this heel turn for a couple weeks, and I kept telling my roommate, I'm like, Sasha's going to be the one to turn heel. No, she's not. Well, Bianca's not turning heel. But why does one of them have to turn heel? And I'm like, because it's superhero and villain. You can't have a superhero and a superhero. Yeah, but I don't want them to turn heel. And I go, well, I really can't help you with that. But I'm intrigued of what we do with these tag team titles, because even they were hinting at Nia and Shayna were going to split, and Shayna's going to wrestle Asuka.
I mean, it would be better than Charlotte Flair.
Oh, they took her off the WrestleMania poster.
I saw that.
It because
Who get consequences from Andrade leaving.
Not even that. Like, my dad was like, Charlotte might leave. And I'm like, oh my God, imagine Vince is going to have a stroke and die right there. Vince would die. Vince would die right there.
She goes to AEW. Honestly, low-key would elevate the AEW division.
I mean, but after that main event, though.
Oh, that was Anyway, we get off topic.
It's okay. Sure. Technically, when Rhea Ripley debuts, since it's going up tomorrow, later tonight, it should be her and Asuka.
Should be.
But these tag titles got to go. Yeah. Nia and Shayna need to.
Mm-hmm.
Reginald needs to pick a brand.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. What brand is he on?
He's with the tag team champions. We can't.
He's not a champion, and he's not a manager for them.
He's gonna be, once they break up, he's gone unless he stays with Nia.
Well, he's training to be a wrestler, so he's technically in NXT, so he can go that way. Or people were like 205 Live, and I go, this man is not under 205 pounds.
None of them are. I'm sorry, none of them are on 205.
Oh my God, the Cross challenge Escobar. I was like, Hunter.
Sense was not there.
Speaking of men who are not 205 pounds and under, Big E and Apollo Crews, let's talk about this ending. What the hell was this sloppy mess?
They didn't even show a replay. They didn't even show anything.
I wouldn't have showed a replay either if I was a TD for this.
I think they were like, we gotta finish this match. Match, just count 3. That was, me and my mom were so confused.
Before that move, it looked like it was going to happen, but before they like rolled over, it just got sloppy.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And like, I was anticipating this match because there was a really good build, and I felt like, first of all, this is Apollo's, I believe, 6th time losing an IC championship match. How are you going to try to build him to be in a 7th match?
Please. You're trying, like, I was like, oh, he's getting his WrestleMania moment. I'm just like, there's someone else deserves it so much better. Like, because I can't wrestle and shit. Good for him. But someone deserves it so much more.
Because I was originally saying, like, what if we did like an IC title ladder match to kick off night 1? And you have Sammy and Kevin, you have Baron, you have Apollo, you have Big E, and you have like one, like, if Dominic and Ray were not in the tag team picture, I would have put Dominic in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
That kicks off WrestleMania. Why are people not smart to think of that?
Because he picks yes men. And it's whatever he says goes. Why we even have creative at this point?
As we'll get into Alexa, I'm just going to say I booked it better. But this match is really good. Like, I don't mind seeing Big E and Apollo because they're two great wrestlers. But if we're just going to keep doing, like, no finishes or Apollo loses clean, what's the point of having this match again at WrestleMania?
Exactly.
Because especially with the beatdown. Like, if the beatdown didn't happen and that ended it that way, okay. Yeah. I don't mind that. But the beatdown just got me so confused because I'm like, we're doing this again?
Especially really? Since it's like 3 weeks away.
Exactly. That's why I thought Fastlane made no sense to happen because it's 3 weeks before. I can't. And then continuing stupidity, Shane McMahon. What?
I mean, great calves, Shane. Great calves. They looked amazing. I am jealous.
On point.
I want to say that. But this whole storyline is pointless. It's so pointless.
No, like, so I figured that this match was going to happen only because it was on Peacock and they wanted to have more viewers because since like the difference between like the network and having Peacock is people who bought Peacock for like The Office or Parks and Rec, they could still watch the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So if they see a big name like a Shane McMahon, they're going to want to tune in. So I was like, okay, that's why. Then there was the rumors they scratched it. And I'm like, okay, you're going to save it towards Mania. That makes so much more sense in the world. And then they just got more stupid and brought Elias into it and just proved Elias is a jobber and Elias is really good, but they don't want to use Elias. And Braun squashed him while Shane was on there with his fake ass crutch and his freaking, Adam Pearce put it in ice bag. Couldn't even call it an ice pack, an ice bag.
Because it technically was an ice in the bag.
But I call it an ice pack.
Not I'm gonna get into it. No, this is just this. I hate this storyline. It was out of nowhere, and if it would have made more sense if the storyline made sense. It's just
I just feel sad for Braun.
Yeah.
Because even I was talking about this in pop culture. Like, let's just look at like Braun's WrestleMania matches. Okay, his first WrestleMania match was what, 34 when he teamed with Nicholas.
Yeah.
35, he won the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which is the pointless Battle Royal that they have to get rid of because of COVID. Mm-hmm. 36, he was the fill-in for Reigns and got his WrestleMania moment. You're going to have him win this pointless match with Shane McMahon for no reason, just for Shane to wrestle at the pay-per-view?
And it's the problem with me is that they gave Shane really good like storylines throughout these WrestleManias. It's this one where it's just him calling him stupid and Braun's like, I don't like that, you bully. And it's just like, you are a big man. Like, I get his real life, like he got bullied a lot, whatever. But this is...
But the other thing I'm confused with, when he came to Raw, he was a heel. When was his face turn?
When he was confronting Shane. I read that it was just like we were all confused, and I read that Shane was supposed to be heel and Braun supposed to be face, and the face turn was when Shane called Braun stupid.
Can we please just have a 2-on-1 handicap match and put Adam Pearce in there instead, just for the entertainment?
Stop, that'd be great.
Poor Adam.
So much better.
Poor Adam has been advertised for like 3 matches and has not gotten any of them.
It would be so good.
So I think Adam should get inserted into this match and have his WrestleMania moment and have him pin Braun.
Yes.
That's not going to happen.
Oh my God, that's not going to happen. But that's 100 times better than what they're doing now.
who's now like putting a lot Elias.
Poor Elias. I don't know why they teamed him up with that guy.
Jason Riker, aka Gunner from TNA, who I just found out 2 weeks ago was Gunner from TNA. Yes, because I had a Gunner shirt for Wrestling Shirt Friday, and I was like, I wonder what happened to him. And I Googled it, Jason Riker from WWE, and I was like, oh my God. But to turn this pay-per-view around, we are embracing the vision. The man with all the drip. Seth Drippin' Rollins. The shirt is coming. The shirt is coming.
No, I don't know. It shouldn't be a thing.
But okay, he either has to have that shirt or a shirt talking about how he's like the vlogger king on Twitter. Oh my Lord.
He's having an existential crisis ever since having a kid. He's trying to be young again.
I don't blame him. He's great. The suits are fantastic. Troy, you're doing wonders.
The suits are beautiful. I will say that. It's just him saying the word drip.
Troy taught it to him. Troy taught him the word drip.
I cringe. I've been cringing so hard.
And I also hope that Troy designs Rollins' WrestleMania gear.
Yes.
But this match turned the whole pay-per-view around. Oh my Lord. I loved when Rollins was screaming in the ring. I just love him as this heel. He's really come into, and I'm not even being biased here, he's really come into his own with this character. I love it. It's the entertainment of my day. This really has made him winning, made my whole quarantine just a thing of beauty. I love him.
I haven't watched SmackDown in a while, so I didn't know he was still using the Burn It Down song. He came out, I was like, oh, low-key missed the gospel music, but okay.
Well, there's a third theme in the making, as he said on the bump.
Okay, good.
I'm assuming at WrestleMania, but I don't know.
But I was in and out with this match. Like, I love Seth, I love Shinsuke. There was just some parts where it was just like, it's just always whenever they do like the holds and everything, I get like, so like, this is going to take 5 minutes because they always take 5 minutes on these spots.
I mean,
I get it, relax and everything, but I'm also like, but it was still a good match. It's a good storyline progressor.
I like his new move, like the move he did right before the curb stomp, where he like stopped himself and then like back kicked Nakamura. Where the commentators were like, oh my God, I've never seen something so creative like that. Oh my God, Seth, savior. I was like, are we going to name that move like drip?
No. I'm putting a stop to that right now.
Hey, I mean, Rollins, if you're watching this, you should do it.
No. I will be the devil's advocate. It won't look good.
Oh, when he comes out with a Seth Strippin' Rollins shirt, I'm buying it. I don't care.
You are?
I'm going to be like,
I'll get it for your birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Good thing my birthday's in August and we're in March. But talking about more stupidity, why was Drew McIntyre's face painted blue?
Well, that's Braveheart, the movie.
I know.
That's the like Scottish thing. Because
but like, why?
Because it's a no hold barred match.
I was when Sheamus came out, I'm like, tell me this idiot's face is painted green.
I was low-key waiting for that. I was waiting for face paint from him.
And I was like, oh, thank God, it's just this idiot. This match was good. The only reason that I didn't necessarily like it so much was because we saw it on Raw twice.
Yeah.
And if we didn't see it on Raw twice, it would have been more special. And of course, I also felt like the winner was way too obvious because there was no way they were having Drew. Like, if they did not announce Drew and Bobby on Monday and they waited till like tonight to do it, then I would have said, okay, maybe Sheamus should win. But because they already announced it, it was so obvious that Drew was going to win because there's no way they're making him go into WrestleMania week. But I like the explosion spot.
I was like, the money, no. Because I honestly, low-key, the part I really watched, I like this whole pay-per-view, because my expectations were so low, my brain was kind of just like on off. I also worked today, so I was just a little like, ugh. But that was the only spot I really thought was good. Because it's like you said, on Monday, we technically saw this kind of match. So, or last Monday, I don't remember.
Last week, I believe, was when the steps.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro.
So I was like, and also I'm not a fan of just two big men going at it. They're both really good their own ways. It's just
I will say that this pay-per-view overall, especially the bottom half when it got to like Rollins, Nakamura, Drew, and Sheamus, and especially Reigns and Bryan, it got way more technical.
Yeah.
And like when we get to Reigns and Bryan, I'll like describe like that's why I like this match so much better. But my thing is, what do you do with Sheamus? Do you put Sheamus against Riddle and have Sheamus win the U.S. title?
Honestly, they might.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
At this point, they might.
Oh. Ready to get into, is the Fiend coming from behind you in the dark?
I hope. I want to join the cult.
So I'll quickly explain how I thought this match was going to go, because I thought my creative with this was so good and way better than WWE planned it. So WWE was like, you know what, we're gonna make Alexa Bliss be Matilda, and we're gonna have. I'm surprised no one said this on Twitter, and I was the only one who thought of this.
Who tweeted it?
I'm going to tweet it tomorrow. Don't you worry. But they're like, yeah, we're going to have Alexa move her eyes, and then things are just going to fall. But to me, logically, I was like, you know what? You tease this Jack in the Box so damn much, right? So I go, okay, like, Orton could come out, lights go off, and the Jack in the Box just sitting in the middle, and Orton's like, what the hell is this box? Like, what? He goes, doo-doo-doo, and you hear Alexa laughing, and then the Fiend, and then lights go out again, the Fiend comes, instead of, like, a clown popping out of the Jack in the Box, it's the Fiend.
Yeah.
WWE was like, nope, we gotta be Matilda. We gotta use the fire. I love how Byron Saxton, when Alexa did the fire bolt, she missed. Orton dodged it. I'm like, are you watching the same thing I am? Byron, what? I don't know how I felt about this.
I love it. Because this is my style in a way, you know, like the creepiness. I love creepy stuff. I love like the satanic stuff to it, culty feel. For entertainment businesses, entertainment. Had to put that out there, disclaimer. But I get how they did it because he did come out all burnt and everything. So like I get it. He also came from hell. So it's kind of like that situation. This character of Alexa Bliss made me love her. And I think Kimmy's very happy that I'm saying that.
I've tried for years.
Yeah. For years, I didn't like her characters that much because pristiness is not my favorite. And they worked. It worked. But I love her eyes where she smiles and then she goes, and I'm like, with the contacts and the dark makeup, she looked pale. I was like, yes, make her a skeleton.
I mean, I like this for the furtherment of the story, but this is the other thing I was talking about. I said it's not like we talked about this on my prediction show, and I talked to a couple people about this. Obviously, the way you go with this is the Firefly Funhouse match.
Yeah.
That's the only way you go. But I'm going to compare this to AEW for a couple seconds here, because when they announced the Sting match and they had to watch it on a screen, people were complaining. So are you not scared you're going to have the same thing with people complaining that they're going to be looking at a screen? Because you can't have the Firefly Funhouse match live.
No, they're definitely going to complain about it. Oh, 100%.
So that's why I'm scared that they're not going to do a Firefly Funhouse match. But then what other stipulation are you going to do? Because you did everything you could with this already. This story has been building for 4 months.
Alexa and Bray versus Randy.
I'm
sure. No, Alexa, shut up.
Even your Alexa was like, no, I don't want to do that. No. I mean, that would be interesting.
Right? It's something different.
It is something different.
Not gonna happen, but you know,
it's not
different.
I don't know. I mean, because I would say fire if we did not do a fire match already.
Yeah.
Because you can't do no DQ.
No.
I don't know.
You can't do what they did in a live audience.
Like, that's the problem. Like, that's the one con with having WrestleMania in front of a crowd this year. You cannot do all the cinematic stuff you did last year because you are gonna have people complain.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think they kind of put themselves in a box and they're trying to find a door out to into that openness. But
unless you do half Firefly Funhouse cinematic, half in front of the live crowd, but that would be kind of dumb.
unless they're just gonna have a regular match.
That would be so bad.
Stupid.
I'd complain.
Yeah, because he came back. I love his new look, by the way. I'm trying to see what that. I want to see what it looks like in like brightness.
It doesn't even look like burns. It just looks like he's like a mum. It looks like the worms that Boogeyman used to eat threw up all over him.
Well, that's kind of what he's supposed to look really deformed. So
Okay.
I was like, his ears, is that like prosthetics or something? And she was like, that's probably just the mask covering it, which probably is. But did he shave his head? Different parts. Did he actually commit? Because good for him. Because it looked like he had less hair on his head. He had like the gloves of like burnt hands and everything. Like, props for him. Honestly, Bray Wyatt, such a creative genius. Because he doing this. That's why it's so much better.
Where's his brother, though? Where is Bo?
Honestly, if they get him in there and make a character work, I will turn my idea about him around.
Justice for Bo.
Just because I love this story. I love these characters. And yeah, because I see people hating on it, hating Bray Wyatt. I'm like, you just hate it because it's actually creative.
I don't hate it. I just think this is 4 months in the making, and I'm someone who loves long-term storytelling, and I was someone who said, like, you should not have Bray on TV till WrestleMania, but what else can you do?
Yeah. No, I agree with that part. I do.
Because then where does Orton go after? Because obviously the Fiend's going to win. Where does Orton go from here?
He's going to get the championship.
Him and Bobby. Him and Drew.
Where else are they gonna put him? I mean, he is being good in the mid card.
He is.
So, but I don't see them. Technically, he's wrestled almost everyone. Honestly,
switch him to the blue brand. Let's get him and Seth again. Let's go.
Oh my god! No, they gotta keep him on Raw for a little bit. They're trying to get those views up.
They need to desperately.
Yeah.
And for our very technical main event here, I was right in a sense, because my man Adam turned heel. We are getting our triple threat match.
I don't think he turned heel.
He attacked Bryan.
I think he was just mad because Bryan hit him first.
By accident?
Yeah, by accident. But guess what? He got that receipt.
Oh, comparing this match from 6 years ago at Fastlane 2015, I felt like this 6 years ago. So comparing that Fastlane match to what we saw tonight, I felt like this match was way more technical. I feel like Reigns isn't as green as he was when that match took place, because at that point, that was maybe his 5th or 6th singles match on a pay-per-view, compared to now where he's very much in this role. And it's fit for him. I thought it was great back and forth. I loved how Bryan was teasing him in the beginning, like, we're going to go for this move. We're going to do this. I love that. I love that Jay got involved. For me personally, I would have rather seen that tag team match, just because I felt like it would have made more sense. Because especially when Jay came out, I was like, well, you kind of hinted we're going to do a tag team match at WrestleMania. And if you were going to go that way, that's going to be really stupid. And it's so big that, like, why would you do that on free TV?
Yeah.
So to me, it just made way more sense to do this on the pay-per-view instead of having like Reigns and Bryan at this pay-per-view. And then you could have done Bryan Reigns at Elimination Chamber, and then either somehow in that tag match inserted Bryan into the WrestleMania match, or have him versus Rollins, because that was the original plan. But I like this. I like that we're doing the triple threat. I like that we're kind of giving Bryan one, if this really is his last WrestleMania, because remember, it was rumored today that he was going into the Hall of Fame with the glitch on the network. Or Peacock. I don't even know what the glitch was. Was it on Peacock or the network?
Peacock maybe, because I feel like they're gonna test it before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing the one part on the network of NXT on the network, and then
stand and deliver.
No, it's not on the network. It's gonna be on the TV and then the network.
Yeah, Wednesday's on USA, and then Thursday's on Peacock. Because the network officially ends April 4th. I'm so sad. Rest in peace.
It's so stupid because it's gonna be so hard to look for stuff now.
No, it's not. There's a thing. Literally, when you go to Peacock, it's on the top. It's called WWE.
Thank God.
I was playing with it the other day. It's so easy to find. But if this is really Brian's last WrestleMania, because it is, he's been hinting this. His contract, I believe, comes up in September.
Yeah.
I like that they're putting him in one last WrestleMania main event.
Yeah.
Except because he's really done everything except win a Royal Rumble, which he's gotten screwed so many times. But he's really done it all. And I think he's going to get the pin, whether it be to Reigns or Edge, but it's such a great send off to him. And I'm really happy we're going this route because it makes it a little bit more interesting than just Edge and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I agree. I may not be the biggest Brian fan because, again, not a fan of technical wrestling, but I agree he does deserve it. Because I may joke about it to Kimmy and be like, no, he doesn't. But, I think he does because he is one of the best. The match for me, I did like in the beginning because I did see him smile and I was like, oh, that makes me happy because he's happy. And then it got to the holds again. And I'm going to get hated on. I'm going to always get hated on because I'm like this. But I get bored. It's my ADD. Blame it on my ADD, people. And then by the end, when it started getting more lively, that's when I paid attention. I was like, oh my! The whole time I'm like, what is an enforcer? Because they never use an enforcer ever. So when the ref got knocked out, who made a really good roll out of the ring, I was like, oh, look at that!
Props to him.
Props to him. And Edge went in, and I was like, oh, that's what they're supposed to do? Finally explained.
Yes, the enforcer is basically supposed to be a second referee if something happens to the referee.
But they never mention that.
Because WWE doesn't like to mention it. It's WWE.
Like some context here, people. But yeah, when Edge was doing that, and then Jey Uso came out, which was a big I knew it was gonna happen. Again, very predictable pay-per-view. But it was also super kick out of nowhere. I was like, oh, it's happening now. Makes sense because referee's down. And then the chair shot and the chair that. Again, I don't think Edge turned heel. I think he was just fed up because.
So you think
his moment, and I think he just is a screwed person, and he got screwed out of something that was supposed to be only for him. And I think he's just a little hurt, but he's still a face.
So you think we have two faces and a heel rather than two heels and a face?
Yes. And if Edge pins Brian, they're going to do a little handshake at the end.
Oh, you think Edge is pinning Brian at WrestleMania? Ooh.
They're not going to pin Roman. You kidding me?
No, I was saying Reigns is pinning Brian.
Oh, you think Edge is going to lose?
Well, here's how we set this up now, because obviously, how I explained to you, you cannot have Edge lose right now. You can't. And you can't have Reigns lose. So to me, I'm like, okay, they put Brian in as a safety net, so then you could have this match again at another pay-per-view.
No, they have to have Edge. That's why I'm saying Edge can win, and Roman can still have good matches. Edge has to win this. He has to. It's going to be that end of a chapter.
But then my thing is I'm assuming this is him and Reigns gonna happen at SummerSlam.
It's gonna be him and Edge, Seth and Edge. You know how great that match will be.
I know, but that match doesn't need a championship. I was actually on the podcast, but because I was actually on the podcast too. Do I feel like Rollins and Nakamura or Rollins and Cesaro need a championship? No. They don't need it because they can put on a good match without a title. And Rollins and Edge have a story from 2014. They don't need a championship to pull it off.
But they're going to because of this.
I mean,
played in, and Seth hasn't won a championship in a long time.
I'm aware of this. I'm aware of the countdown. Thank you.
So I'm just saying that's how they can put it in there. Be like, we have some business to cover. I also want that championship because I deserve it more because I've worked my butt off more and I haven't won a championship in a while. I think Edge just came in and swooped it out.
Rollins just needs to be like, Edge has never embraced the vision.
That's all he has to say.
Edge doesn't have drip. Get him out of here.
He needs to leave the building. I will put him on fire. I'm joking. Legal reasons. That's a joke.
That'll be the next match. Rollins and you in an Inferno match.
I'll get Bray Wyatt to help me. It's fine. Alexa and Bray.
Skyler, where can we find you on socials?
Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. Skyler 4 or 5 _ Nicole. Still gotta figure that out. It's been like 5 of these.
Make sure to like this video, comment what you guys thought about Fastlane, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything else. Click that bell for notifications and subscribe because we're going to see Skyler a lot on the road to WrestleMania because we got to review NXT, we got to review WrestleMania. There's a lot going on, so you better stay tuned. And I will see you all tomorrow for our Raw review. And let's just hope that Raw picks itself up because we are officially on the road. We are 2.5 weeks away. Let's do this. Bye, guys.
Bye.